Welcome back to In Deep Crit, playing Earthdawn 4th edition from FASA Games. My name is Damien Humphreys, and I am the Games Master for this particular campaign. We've been running for a few weeks now. We're getting close to the denouement of this little campaign of Earthdawn. But I am joined, as usual, by my wonderful players, starting with...
I am Kieran. I'm playing Paul Brimstone, the human elementalist.
Hi, I'm Phil, and I'm playing Thorndor, a Dwarven Nethermancer.
Hey, my name's Ian, and I am playing Mindy Lell, a Windling Beastmaster.
Hi, I'm Luke Hindmarsh. I am playing Ashulian, the Obsidian Weaponsmith.
Marvellous. Welcome, everybody. Good to see everybody back. We've been playing this for a little session for a little while. We've done 3 of the Legends of Barsaive modules in the Legends of Barsaive, what they call a living campaign, and we've just finished the 3rd one of those, and the party's decided to go in a slightly different direction rather than moving on to the next module. So we're going to find a way to just kind of wrap up this little mini story arc that we've got going on. If you haven't seen any of our previous videos, there'll be links available around here somewhere where you can check all of those, and also I'll put up a link to our other playlists of other playthroughs as well. We've done a couple of other systems. We've got more systems on the way at the moment, and more in the future. But enough of that. Let's get back to Earthdawn. So last session, the party had some slightly tense negotiations at the end, after coming back with the body or the head of the person who was responsible for disappearing citizens of Haven, one Grizz Goldeye, and the body of a now cadaver manned or cadaver dwarfed Curators, who was an erstwhile companion and compatriot of Egil from the Strongest Arm Adventuring Company, and decided to confront Drusilla, who they discovered was actually a thief adept called Mirthful Drew, who was quite close with Torgak and Rugash, the mayor and his nephew of Haven. Decided to confront her with Archiana Smoothskin in present, and Egil also present, and kind of call her out on her behaviour. The negotiations were handled pretty well. There was, the party got their dues from everybody concerned. There was a little bit of a standoff about keeping certain evidence, i.e. Grizz's head, and Drew was less than happy that the AUE, yes, he gets it right again, 2 sessions in a row, had been informed about what was going on. But there's, so political things have moved on in Haven now. Drew is promising to deliver your request of fair elections to Torgak within a month, so we will see where that goes, perhaps in a future campaign. The party have become... Sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, as a player, I'm not interested in democratic elections. I want the anarchy of it. But Ashulian probably would want the logical.
I'm always up for a bit of anarchy, personally. But the party are more interested right now in what is happening with these cadaver men, because they uncovered a little nest of cadaver men. There were 3 in total present, including Curators, who was one of the disappeared victims from Haven, and they found the body of Zemma, who was the first person they were tasked with investigating the disappearance of, in a little cavern in the basement of that building, surrounded by nethermantic sigils, mostly nonsense, fairly certain that whatever that ritual they were attempting to perform is not what has been creating any cadaver men. So the question remains, who or what is responsible for the creation of these cadaver men? There's been some discussion. There is a well-known cadaver person, cadaver woman, Twiceborn, who is known as the Queen of the Dead, who has a significant realm in the eastern catacombs underneath Parlave, a significant number of cadaver people who live and work and exist as part of her kingdom underneath Parlave. But there has been peace between Haven and Twiceborn's kingdom for some considerable time. So, but without any other leads, I think it was decided that Twiceborn is possibly the nearest expert you have on the phenomenon, and the party, I think, decided to investigate ways to make contact with Twiceborn, which is where we are picking up. We had a bit of downtime at the end of last session, and we did some spending of legend points and some buying of healing potions, blood charms, and that kind of thing. So yeah, what would you like to be doing next?
Had we not discussed going to the place where she might be, this cadaver woman, person, thing, queen?
So your difficulty with just heading straight to her kingdom is knowing where it is. The entrances to the catacombs tend to be changed on a fairly regular basis, and there's been no recent contact with her. There's usually an entrance in the small somewhere, but whereabouts that would be might take some investigation, and also you'll need to find a way to negotiate some kind of audience with her.
You could offer her some fine body painting and tattoos, and Soul could threaten anyone who was not willing to comply.
That's right, Soul got some chops last session and threatened Earthdawn Drew. We could just skip straight to that fight if you like.
I have this. My axe can act as a shovel for picking up the pieces afterwards.
I wonder, Thorndor, would your friend Chandra, the very powerful Nethermancer, be able to find where Twiceborn lives?
I mean, we could ask her, though we are starting to rack up quite a tab of favours at this rate, but hopefully that will not count.
Is
So
there
there is-
a library?
So there's the Curators, but there is also somewhere you have bought information from previously, which you'll know about, which is Vardeghul's Law Exchange, run by the ancient Scrang Vardeghul, who does charge for information, but generally has whatever information is deemed to be needed at the time.
Unfortunately, we have spent all our money.
I have a little left.
I've got a little.
About negotiating with her, I mean, it would seem to me that self-interest, there's been a peace between her and the city now for a number of years, and if someone is making it look as if she's breaking that peace, then
And
I would hear us out.
Yeah, and if information has value, maybe we can find some information, and the promise of that will kind of warrant some signposting in the right direction.
What if she sees this city of very short-lived beings as just a minor annoyance? doesn't matter to her at all. We ought to have a gift in on the basis that she does not care one way or the other about peace. I mean, I would give up my pet head. Perhaps there's something else she might like.
We'll only know by asking her, or her minions.
Well, unless we find out beforehand that cadaver men like particularly eating a certain food, or maybe they like roses. I don't
You'd
know.
think they'd need to oil themselves to stop all the dryness.
Maybe we need to bring them some oil and offer to have Thorndor rub it in.
I nominate Thorndor.
He enjoys the skin of...
I would be interested to experience now. Shall we head to the rumour
Vardeghul.
shop? Yeah.
Yep.
Soul, are you ready to threaten her if she does not tell us what we need to know?
We will see. We will see.
So
He
Vardeghul's
had it
Law
in
Exchange is just here, right in the centre of Haven.
Mm-hmm.
You've been there before. Opening the door, pushing back a heavy curtain that is inside the door. Vardeghul doesn't seem to be particularly fond of sunlight or direct light of any kind. There are low burning oil lamps throughout the room, kept well away from any dry and dusty tomes or parchments. It's fairly dark and dusty inside. The weight of all that knowledge, all that paper seems to hang heavy in the air. Your footsteps stir up little dust motes as you walk through. And you find the ancient Tiskrang in her usual place, sat in a chair behind her counter, which is also generally covered in whatever various bits of lore and information she's got her hands on recently, reading through a leather-bound tome with no evidence of a name on it as you arrive. She completely ignores you as you walk in.
Is there a bell?
No.
Is there something like a counter I could knock on?
Well, there's the counter that she sat behind, yeah, absolutely.
I go over and go on the counter.
Puts the book down, marks her place and it puts the book down, looks up at you. Yes? What can I do for you?
I did not think you'd noticed us come in. But I point at Thorndor or Soul, who are presumably more.
I saw you come in. I was just waiting for you to decide whether you wanted any help or any business. So many people come in and look and go out again.
Ah. You have met my friends Soul and Thorndor and Mindy Lell before.
I'll wave.
If you say so.
Ah, memory. Yes, it fades. We have some questions. Thorndor? Soul? Thorndor?
We are looking for the Twiceborn and the entrance to her realm, and we were under the impression that this is the place to come for knowledge in Haven.
Yes. Twiceborn, a very fascinating individual. I have scant information on her, but I do have a couple. I have one particular treatise that might be of interest to you. I believe it's an encounter, an actual encounter with her. Somebody who managed to get an audience with her. I could certainly sell you a copy of that.
How much would the copy be of that?
The copy of that would be. She consults a little book. Not a PDF as I'm doing at the moment. 100 silver. 100 tabs.
That's quite a lot of money!
My friend here, I point back at Julian, is very good at bartering. Perhaps he might take point on this.
You see, the information that we need may or may not be in the book, so it may actually be completely worthless to us. Or it could indeed have the information in it, which would make it maybe worth 100 silver. It seems to me that somewhere between worthless and 100 silver is a more fitting value for it, unless you'd let us have a look at it first to see if it's what we're actually wanting, and then we'll pay you full price. That was very quick of me, wasn't it?
Well, all information is worth something, whether it's pertinent to your particular endeavor right now or pertinent to something that you may come across later down the road, or perhaps even showing you the information may give you an idea for something that you hadn't thought of, or perhaps an adventure. So everything, all information is power.
Allow me to sell you this very nice axe that I'm in the process of making, which you may have absolutely no use for, but is of course a means of power. It could be used to chop wood, cut off heads. It is indeed always valuable, whether or not it's of value to you.
Of course.
Do you see the comparison here?
So if I could perhaps take your axe and go and use it for a period of, let's say, 2 weeks before I decide to pay you for it.
I'm not asking to use the information for 2 weeks. I'm asking for a reasonable price.
Once you have the information, you have the information. You may, of course, make a haggle roll. Because you have made a cogent
I mean, it's entirely possible. I'm angling on the lines of, do we... See, this is the thing. There's information that is like a one-off. Oh, yeah, now we have the answer. And then there's, yeah, this would contain the answer, but it's going to take a lot of reading and puzzling out to work out precisely what that means. That's where I'm going with this. But anyway, obviously it's not... She wants to sell.
And Vardeghul's reputation is that you do not get anything for free.
That's all right. Where is it? Haggle.
Yeah.
By the way, Vardeghul, just thought I'd mention that if, of course, it turned out that the information is useless to us, we would then not have the money or funds to be able to get another answer for this problem, which would mean that everyone in Haven will be turned into a cadaver man. And I think that includes you. Just thought I'd throw that out there as another thing for you to consider. Maybe you would like to buy it back if it's not of any use to us, since information is always useful and of power.
Yep, an 8 is a success. Yeah, no, an 8 is a success. Well, I could... Thorndorf?
Oh no, I was just going to see what the damage was so I could deduct it off my...
It's 5% per success. That's one success. So that's 95. I could let you have it for 95 tavs. This will obviously be a copy of the original document, and you will have to sign the usual contract, which is normal for any of the transactions of any of the information from this law exchange. And she puts the contract on the table, on the counter.
I'll flutter... Sorry, go on.
So, go on.
I'll flutter up to Ashulian and whisper, "Let me have a go." And then I will flutter, sit down cross-legged on the contract, because I'm only tiny. I'm only small and inoffensive and very charming. And I'll say, "Vardeghul, we're going to try and find Twiceborn. We're going to try and find out where all these awful cadaver men are coming from and why nice people are being turned into rotting corpses that walk around and try and eat people. if we were to ask any 3 questions to Twiceborn on your behalf and bring you back the answers, would that lower the price of this document a little bit further because we're going to give you more knowledge that no one else would have?
I would certainly pay you for an account of your encounter with Twiceborn and any new information that you could bring back from Twiceborn. Such a document, such an account would be extremely valuable.
Just not in advance.
No, because you may not come back.
Thorndor, I tried.
I hand over 95 tabs.
Okay, so the contract is quite wordy, but essentially boils down to this copy is for the 4 of you and the 4 of you alone.
Oh
and
no,
you agree.
Thorndor's paying for it. It's his transaction.
Oh, so if Thorndor signs for the contract, Thorndor is allowed to show it to
Of
a
course.
number of people, which he can state when he signs the contract.
I
and
very
it is only to
quietly
be shown
lean
to
over
those
and say,
named people.
Thorndor, don't include my name. I'm not allowed to be shown it. Thank you.
Alright.
Yeah, so essentially it says you agree to purchase from honest tradeswoman Vardeghul a document entitled An Account of an Encounter with Twiceborn for a fee of 95 tabs to be presented in advance to the honest tradeswoman Vardeghul in exchange for the right to possess a copy of said document. And it speaks like that, but basically says that you have the right to this copy of the document for the purposes of your current endeavour, and it is not to be shown to anybody else or any further copies made of it, so on and so forth. How legally binding it would be, you're unsure, but, upsetting Vardeghul may lead to no further information being able to be purchased from her.
Mm-hmm.
The phrase honest tradeswoman Vardeghul comes up an enormous amount in the piece of paper.
Yeah, I picked up on that.
And then you are
What
given.
delights do we have?
You are given. Bear with. Show players. Oh, hang on. I was loaded a minute ago. There we go. Now show players. You should now have a handout entitled An Encounter with Twiceborn.
Which we need to click load PDF to be able to read, do.
Which I clicked on, but yes.
Okay, it does work.
Yep, does work.
I am not included in the contract, so I shall for the moment not read it.
I'm happy to read it unless somebody else would like to read it.
No, you shoot.
Alright.
A lot. So you don't.
Okay, I should just wet my whistle. An encounter with Twiceborn, Queen of the Undead. The following is a report by the dwarf scholar Horowell the Curious, written in 1500 Thrall calendar. The year now is 1570. Reference. Though Horowell intended his work for the collection of the Great Library of Thrall, poor financial planning forced him to sell me all rights to this document. Horowell returned to Haven in Veltum of 1502 for another expedition to the Eastern Catacombs, from which he never returned. According to a report from a source I consider reliable, a cadaver man bearing Horowell's distinctive cheek tattoo was seen attending Twiceborn in Gamil of that year, Vardeghul. So that's about 3 months after he disappeared. The cadaver man was seen. After protracted negotiations with the dreadful decaying sentries at the southernmost known entrance to the Eastern Catacombs, I received permission for an audience with Twiceborn, the legendary Queen of the Undead. I succeeded in gaining entry to the cadaver men's heavily guarded kingdom, knowledge of archaic Theran table manners, an occurrence that I found oddly disconcerting. To find the cadaver men concerned with something so mundane and absurd as table etiquette simultaneously touched my heart and disturbed me. Like most Barsavians, I had expected the undead to be wholly monstrous, but they clung to the notion that they are still name-givers, despite being dusty, mummified corpses preserved only by the most appalling magics imaginable. Further negotiations, this time with Twiceborn herself, I carried on through intermediaries. The foppish swooning of these courtiers over their queen provided an odd contrast to their advanced state of physical decay. The chief advisor, a former orc named Gainia, paused every so often during our discussions to replace her left eyeball, which had a disconcerting tendency to tumble out onto her cheek when she became excited. At length we reached a compromise. Upon my return to the Enclave in the Catacombs the following day, the cadaver men would escort me to Twiceborn's private chambers. There I would present her with a gold necklace set with 12 diamonds, 14 opals, and 3 death cheat charms. Provided the necklace met her approval, she would graciously permit me to ask her 10 questions. Thankfully, the Queen was pleased with the gift, and I wasted no time presenting my queries. Your Majesty, thank you for granting me this rare audience, I began. The people of Barsaive are most curious about the nature of your realm. In choosing to quench their thirst for knowledge, you have demonstrated remarkable generosity. Many a time. You may now ask your questions, Twiceborn said. Of course, Your Highness. Is it true that you have existed as a cadaver woman since before the disappearance of Parlane in 1407? Yes. Remarkable. Your Majesty, you possess a virtual trove of knowledge, I said. Are you aware that none now living in Barsaive, even those alive at the time of Parlane's disappearance, have any memories of the Forgotten City? So I have been told. Perhaps you could share with me your memories of those days. Perhaps you could ask a more specific question. Well, you were, a Tiskrang? Were you born in Barsaive? Yes. Could you perhaps describe relations between Therans and Barsavians at that time? In those days, all life was a desperate race to escape the horrors, Twiceborn said. Such small matters as one's nation were forgotten. The Therans seemed our only hope of survival, and like many in Barsaive, I thought of myself as Theran. Yet you lost the race to escape the horrors, did you not? I asked. Obviously. You have existed now for nigh on to 4.5 centuries. According to my understanding, cadaver men cannot exist for such long spans of time, except by the aid of blood magic wrought by horrors. How is it that you and your people continue to exist? We have reached certain accommodations. With horrors, I take it. That is one logical conclusion. Our books tell us that a cadaver man's unnatural condition inevitably drives him mad. I must say that you do not seem mad. Do you care to comment on the truth of our accounts? Things are not always what they seem, little scholar, Twiceborn said as she bared her teeth in a smile I found most alarming. Yes, of course. I have heard many reports in Haven of fighting between your people and explorers, in which many name-givers have been slain. Do you think it is possible to live in peace with your neighbours? They wish to kill us. We have learned not to give them the opportunity. If they wish peace, they must seek it, she said and smiled again. Until then, we will gladly add to our kingdom from the ranks of the greedy, foolish, and ill-tempered. The cold, dry hand of death is a greatly civilizing force. So you deny the reports of unprovoked attack by your people. By my count, you have used up your allotment of questions. Good day, little scholar. At that point, Twiceborn drew herself to her full height, her living crystal armor reflecting the torchlight eerily through the chamber. She swept from the room, and despite her deathly appearance, for a moment I became entranced by the spell of her charisma. I scarcely had time to take a breath before 2 stinking, burly corpses pulled me roughly from my seat and dragged me to an unfamiliar exit from the catacombs. Without a word, they tossed me to the hard, rubble-strewn ground outside, as though I were a sack of meal. I have learned little in this tantalizing first meeting. Indeed, Twiceborn's answers raised more questions than they satisfied. I must raise the money to return so that I may ask her more. Queen Twiceborn of the Kingdom of the Undead holds the keys to many mysteries, and I would be no scholar did I not confess my desire to unlock them.
Well, that's interesting.
I don't suppose your skills with armor forging extend to jewelry making, do they? Australian.
Well, no. Jewelry tends to be very tiny and
Well,
fiddly. Whilst I could make armour out of gold, it would not be, or silver, or other precious materials. It would not be very useful.
Suit of armor made of gold would be just the worst thing in the world.
Unless you're fighting Cybermen.
Yeah.
So I've got a few quid. I could see if I could get some decent jewellery. Or some
he mentioned
decent
very
jewellery.
specifics, didn't he? A particular arrangement of stones and particular types of stones.
Expensive things. Perhaps one can find such things in the ruins of Parlanes.
Well, I've got about 100 tabs left, so I'm guessing we're not going to be buying it in the
I have
civilization of Haven.
540.
Maybe. Perhaps we should go and price up what said piece of jewellery would cost. Give you a chance to haggle. Assuming you're very good at that.
That's very kind of you for saying, Thorndog. I am a little confused about what had happened with the other Cadaver men. They were trying to conduct a ritual of some sort. I am not sure I understood what its purpose was, if not making more of their kind. And if that was its purpose, is that not undermining her?
From what I saw, it would not succeed.
That does not mean someone
But
was
it's-
not trying.
Two options. One is that someone was trying and lacked the skill set. The other is that, as we have seen before with illusionists and whatever else, someone was trying to make it appear as if something was happening that perhaps was not.
And yet people were disappearing. And
Exactly.
my friend here was.
So if they weren't created in that pit, where were they created? So yeah, that becomes the thing. If it was that they simply didn't know how to do it, then how did...
Well, when I first made my first weapon, it was not very good. When I made my 100th weapon, it was all right. Now I am on to the... I don't remember how many. They are not so bad. Maybe the same way with your magic.
Maybe.
But if you are teaching someone to make Cadaver men, perhaps their first attempt would be not good enough. But it could also be a setup, as you've said.
I mean, I see two ways forward. One is to explore that area more and try and find out where these Cadaver men were being created. The other one is to go straight to Twiceborn and see if she can shed light on the matter. Those are the two paths I can see open.
This was a journal from over 70 years ago?
17.
17 years ago. All right.
We know the entrances change anyway, don't we?
But what if her attitude has now changed? Maybe she has finally gone mad.
Just in time for us to visit. Excellent.
Well, yes.
I'm really glad we came to Haven. It's been a roaring success so far.
So am I. I have had a lot of fun.
You got a head out of it.
They do say come to Haven and get ahead. I thought they meant in business. Now I realise. What would you like to do then, friends? So, what do you think we should do?
I think we should hear it from the horse's mouth.
You mean find her and find out what she wants?
Absolutely.
I'm sure we thought of this, but we haven't actually looked on the map wall to see if anyone scrolled entrance to catacombs on it, have they? We did
That
check that.
is a very good idea.
We didn't check that.
We haven't checked it.
We also have not spoken to our friends in the adventuring companies. The Curators might know, for example. But certainly I would think the strongest arm would be interested in knowing, is the wall not on the way?
Well, let's go to the wall and then make friends.
Perhaps that is all the Cadaver men were trying to do. They just don't understand the phrase.
So could you all make a difficulty, let's go 7 perception check, please? Not awareness or any other, just perception.
So did you say difficulty 7, yeah?
Yeah, it's a difficulty 7.
Yeah. Okay.
So Mindydale and Thorndor, 3 pertinent kind of chunks of information, bits of information come out of that document that you've received from Vardeghul.
Mm-hmm.
The first being, obviously there's the gift of jewellery, etc., that was given to Twiceborn. But the other thing that allowed access to the kingdom was a knowledge of Theran etiquette. So perhaps that is another bargaining chip with which to go armed with. The other piece of information is Cadaver men being created by horrors. And lastly, so this document is from 17 years ago, and at that time there was no peace between the Kingdom of the Undead and Haven. Something has changed in the intervening almost 2 decades to alter of that state.
I mean, I dress in furs and have a skin mask, so I'm guessing Theran table etiquette is not my strong suit. Does anyone else have any?
I have very good table manners, thank you. When I want some more, I simply thump the table. This is good table manners.
I can juggle.
Yeah. Who do we know who in the adventuring companies who seems sufficiently pompous to have excellent table manners?
Oh, not that awful elf who needs to learn patience. Actually, I
Theran's
have not
dwarf,
taught
isn't
him.
it? Theran's dwarf, isn't it?
No. So Throal is the Dwarven Kingdom. Theran is the kingdom that had all of Barsaive under its thrall pre-Scourge. And they basically used the threat of the Scourge to de facto enslave as much of the world as they could find at the time. by saying, "Do as we say, or we won't share with you our secrets of how to not be eaten by horrors."
Works a charm in parlance. Yeah.
The curators would almost certainly have some documents on Theron etiquette.
Brilliant. Alright, so Shirley suggesting strongest arm after the map wall, and we also need to hit up the Curators and
Okay.
find a jeweler's.
So you head to the map wall. The map wall is... Tell you what, let's activate it. Get rid of the Angry Crowd playlist. Because there's no longer an Angry Crowd about it.
Oh, see some
Yeah.
skulls. Here.
So this is the current state of the map wall.
Yes, and skulls cannot mean anything except here be Cadaver Men. I think we go in that direction. Well spotted, Thorndor.
Alright, venture over. Pack up.
I mean, I'll nip and get some jewellery.
I mean, I'm sure you could
So, yeah,
nip and get some jewellery less.
The eastern catacombs are ostensibly under the eastern quarter of Harling, but the entrances have known to be found in the smalls. So somewhere on the eastern edge of the small, or somewhere near that southeastern laneway, might be a good place to start.
But there's nothing specific marked.
No.
Decorative skulls aside. Cool.
We could always try to ask this screaming fountain.
Probably live longer. Right.
Yeah, you do the fountain. I'll go and get the jewellery.
All right, Mindy Lel. Be careful what you say to Mr. Little Boss. Julian actually starts wandering off as if...
No.
Oh, I
Change
see.
of plan.
Ah, sorry. I thought you meant it.
No. Irony bad.
Strongest arm next year, you suggested.
Well, I simply quite like them. I quite like most of the adventuring companies when they're not losing things very easily that they could have kept hold of.
So the strongest arm is just over here at Trident Keep. Usual business as usual at Trident Keep. Various neophytes and lower ranking members of the organisation sparring and training in the courtyard, being overseen by some of the older members. So Norgut Thosgraw, the dwarf, is overseeing the training in the courtyard at the time, and Egil is relaxing on a little veranda, looking at just kind of keeping an eye on the training and smiling to himself, tutting, kind of commenting, offering helpful and not so helpful advice every now and again. The guards recognise you and immediately go access.
I think it's Julian, you and Eagle are complementary souls, Eagle. So I would suggest you do the talking. He likes you.
He likes looking up. He looks up to me. Oh. All right, I'll give it a go. Hello, Egil.
Morning. Morning, all of you.
I am
Come
not,
to join us at last, have you?
Well, we're not yet. I have a suicidal mission to complete first of all. We are.
Good.
Yeah, it's always the best kind. Don't you agree?
Gotta do it or die trying, right?
That's the general idea. We are trying to find out what happened about these cadaver men and why they may be a threat or not to Haven. And so we are going to find the Twiceborn and ask her questions, which must answer. I don't suppose you know where we might find a way into seeing cadaver men, reports and the like.
So has been some rumours recently in the Smalls. There's like a place that's kind of marked on the map wall. It's not quite there. It's a little bit south and west of there, more into the middle of the Smalls. I have heard reports that there is an entrance to the catacombs in one of the buildings there, but that territory is also currently controlled by the Grey Wolves, who are a bandit gang, pernicious stain on Haven that we haven't quite been able to deal with so far. We are making inroads. We deal with them whenever we can. Got a couple of them locked up at the moment, actually, over at Loasters. But there is. You may have to. They don't always fight. I mean, if you can pay them, they won't fight you. But they always try and either extort some money or some blood out of anyone who travels through their territory.
A charming group. Thank you very much, Egil. I have now forgotten if there was anything else I needed to ask. May I just check with them? They do a lot of my thinking for me.
Yeah, of course you can, Julian.
Thank you, Egil. Well then.
It would be helpful if there was anyone that knew anything about Theron etiquette or could do us a good deal on a nice necklace, possibly with earrings.
Minty Lel would like earrings and a necklace, and I think Thorndor would benefit from some of these things called etiquette. Theron etiquette. Sol could also do with learning how not to threaten people who are very dangerous.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Yeah. We'll see how that turns out.
My money is on Sol.
If it comes to a duel and you need that second soul, then don't ask me.
Judy don't.
You can ask me anytime, Sol. I will say no, but you can ask.
So Theron etiquette. I mean, I barely know Barsaive etiquette, let alone. I mean, I don't really know troll etiquette. If I'm being honest with you, it's not really something that I've ever bothered with. The Curators probably got a book on it. I expect they got books on most things. You get on all right with them, so shouldn't cost you too much, I doubt. Jewelry. I mean, there's the goods and supplies. Torgak's place, obviously. Could try something at the market. I don't know. I mean, jewelry good enough for a queen. That's a different matter.
It had some special requirements, like what were the things?
Nipple tassels.
Not for you, Mindy.
Oh, I want them for me.
The death things, whatever they were, stones, magic bits.
Oh, death charms.
That's the
one. Don't know what an undead would want with death charms, but anyway. He looks over. Oi, Norga! Norga, over here a minute. Calls Norga over. Yes. Well, what do you want, Egil? I'm training here, can't you see? Them lot. doesn't matter how much training you give them, they're all going to die anyway, I expect. He says loud enough to be overheard by all of the recruits. Morgan, that's not the right kind of motivation that we're going for these days, Legion. I've told you. Positive reinforcement. Approbation sandwiches, yes? Yeah, whatever. Sandwiches are something with meat in. This goes on for a little while. Yeah, this lot are wondering about jewellery for that there Twiceborn, Queen of the Dead. Do you know anything about it? Morgan's like, I don't really know a lot about jewellery. I do know that there has been peace between us and Twiceborn's kingdom for about 10 years or so now. So Torgak must have used something to negotiate that peace. Must have had some maybe some kind of tribute. Perhaps, I don't know. Perhaps it's time for another tribute. You could ask Torgak. Otherwise, buy something yourselves. She likes shiny things, is what I've heard. I don't think it has to be necessarily specific.
Oh. Shiny things.
And if they got anything for 4 tabs.
Maybe we buy her a mirror.
I'm
With
thinking
tassels.
that's more than 4 tabs.
I've got 100.
I have 51.
Alright. Curators.
Thank you very much, Egil, and I forgot my name. The dwarf.
Norga.
And
Thank you.
Pleasure. Come back whenever you want to sign up, like.
We will do. I think Sol particularly likes the idea, do you not, Sol? Lots of fighting.
I mean, I fight when I have to. I need to.
Well then, off to the Curators.
We'd like
You
to
head over
Curators.
to the repository, where the Curators have their headquarters. And your friend Nivek does not appear to be on duty this morning. However, Onius, Brynax, and Air Beldroth both are. Air is the elf that you get on so famously with.
Oh,
And
yes.
Onius is another to scrank.
I can finally keep my word to this one who needs to be taught patience. Hello.
Who are you speaking to Air?
Yes.
He seems slightly more polite towards you than he has done in the past, but only slightly. Yes. Welcome. What do you need?
Is this a demonstration of Theron hospitality, etiquette, perhaps? Maybe that is why I have not
gracious,
understood.
no.
Oh. What kind of etiquette is it that you use then, Air?
The etiquette that the recipient deserves.
Oh, I see. I should adopt the same strategy, but it would leave an awful mess.
Gives you a thin smile. Did you need something?
Many things, but I will stop talking about them. Patience.
We require a book or information. I do the information because, as we discovered, books are expensive, but informational books on Theron etiquette.
Crash course.
Right. Okay. We've come to the right place for books, clearly. Turns to young dwarf female scribe sitting at a desk. Rose, these name givers are looking for information on Theron etiquette. Perhaps you could assist them with this. I have been told that if there's anything they need to a reasonable standard, then they are allowed to take it as a gift to show our goodwill towards them.
Oh, that is
I mean,
very kind.
Raises his nose in the air and stalks away, leaving
I
you with
thank
this.
him in Elvish as he goes.
If you want that lesson in patience, you only have to ask. Or
Hey,
in
look, I can
fact,
speak Elvish.
not ask. I will happily give you the lesson in patience, unless you ask me not to, politely.
He's off. He's gone. As you're talking to his back. Rose looks up at you. Well,
Down.
level with Thorndor.
All right.
Up to Julian. Hello. I'm Rose. Yes, I work here. I can help you with whatever you need. Theron etiquette, was it?
Yes,
Particularly table manners.
I am also interested in what kind of strange insect it is that at one point has crawled up that elf's rear end.
Yes, it's probably a blood bee.
This would make much sense.
The whole hive.
Yes. Is I heard that you discovered what had happened to poor old Zemma. Thank you very much for that. She was really quite nice. She would work here occasionally, and we always chatted, and she helped me. I'm getting married soon, and she helped me make some plans and show me some sewing patterns for dresses and those kinds of things. She was a lovely lady. We all miss her greatly. So thank you for finding out what happened to her, even if it was horrible.
We hope to ensure that it doesn't happen to anyone else, which unfortunately means we need to learn about Theron table etiquette.
Okay, I don't see the link, but that's your business, not mine. Please follow me. She leads you off into the stacks, and then through a little door. This is our Theron history section. She consults a catalogue by the door. Etiquette, table manners specifically, or etiquette in general?
Specifically, table manners pertaining to before Parlank's disappearance, but we'll take what we can get.
I mean, it would be handy to have etiquette and like meeting and greeting and kind of decorum for,
Royalty.
Yes.
Yeah, royalty.
Maybe the begging for information and not dying part as well.
Not dying.
How to ask
You're
not to
funny.
be made into a cadaver person, this would be.
I think I have. Yes, I think yes. And she bustles off to one of the shelves, roots through a little bit. Why is nothing ever put back in order? Moves a few books around, comes back with a tome, which is dark leather, almost black leather, with silver filigree writing on it. Do any of you speak Theron, or read and write Theron?
No.
It's unlikely.
So Alec. Yes.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
everyone speaks.
Speak Dwarven and Elven, bless you.
Yeah.
What's impressive is that I can read it and write it. Okay, I'm hanging on to that.
Yeah, I can read and write for
It's written in Theron.
Yeah.
So this is The exact translation is quite long and boring, but essentially this is how to comport oneself in polite society within Thera. It covers greetings between highborn nobles, greetings between highborn and lesserborn, which knife goes where, which way you pass the wine at supper, all that kind of stuff.
I don't suppose anyone prepared a translation in Throwalic or Elvish by any chance, did they?
I'm afraid not for something this obscure. This is perhaps one day we'll get to translating it, but I mean I barely read Theron myself.
It's a problem.
Do we know anyone who does? Sorry.
No, don't be sorry.
Do we know anyone who does speak Theron adequately?
Yes, Air speaks Theron quite well.
Yes, he does.
Oh, perhaps I will trade him lessons in patience for a translation of this. Maybe, given how he is, he would like to persuade me not to teach him patience. Call it a fair trade.
I mean, you may. I've been told that you may have this book.
Thank you.
I mean, if it comes back to us, that's good. If not, I'm sure we have other books that may cover the same subject. This is not a key tome for us by any stretch of the imagination.
My fucker can read it.
Perhaps whoever you needed it for can read Theron.
But then we would not know how to talk to them with etiquette.
We need to talk to the Twiceborn. And apparently etiquette and manners are important.
You lot really aren't hanging about with making your legend here, are you? Off to speak to Twiceborn now.
Well, we just did not want everyone in Haven into a cadaver man. Bless you.
Yes, we'll try to talk.
I'm sure there's other people in Haven who speak Theron other than Air, but Air's the only one I know who speaks it to a high degree.
I don't believe that Air can speak Theron, I say very loudly. He would have to prove it to me.
I mean, there is that warm rumor about Agramen, but I don't know how true that is. But you know, that rumor about him. He's a Theron spy.
Oh.
That's what they say.
It's like anything at this juncture.
But he may not admit to reading Theron if he's trying to pretend to not be Theron.
But you see, that is where we can trap him with logic, because if he genuinely can read Theron, it is a sign that he clearly is not a spy for them, because if he's willing to reveal it, it means he cannot be a spy. Because if he was a spy, he would not reveal it.
It just looks puzzled. Much as your friendly games master is looking right now.
All the time.
So who's this dude? Remind me.
So Agramen is
Agramen
Agramen of Agramen's Exports and Imports. He's a trader. Exports and imports things.
From
That's not the one we had that sort of side quest with, where we were thinking about going into business for them or whatever.
Huh?
Alright, never mind.
No. Nothing to do with the furniture shop that you investigated.
Yeah.
The homeware shop.
Not the same thing. That is disappointing.
Yeah, He has a little compound just here by the north wall.
Right, what are we thinking? Would we rather try and charm an elf who is up himself, or a Farron spy? How are we viewing the odds on that?
Did she say blood bees or blood beetles?
Bees.
Bees. Perhaps we could offer to help him with a salve for his blood bee infestation and see if that persuaded him.
Maybe we try the spy.
It must be very uncomfortable for Air. Ashulian now
Also,
completely believes that that's the reason why. Like he's like, someone has told him this, and it must be true.
what say you, Sol? The spy or the aloof elf? What takes your fancy?
Retentive, I think is the word.
He's retaining bees.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine the state of his honey?
That would be a side quest. Yeah. What say you, Sol? What's your vote? Spy or elf?
I mean, both have their merits, really, but
I do not know if Air has any merits.
Got bees.
Really? Oh.
True, and honey apparently. Sorry.
I'm leaning more towards the spy.
2 votes for the spy, so let's go. And you can always come back and bother her.
Yes. Though I now feel much sympathy for him.
You head over to Agramen's imports and exports. So, fairly decent sized compound. There's wagons, kind of freight wagons, unloading and being loaded up in the courtyard. A large warehouse type building with a little set of offices on one end of it. Agramen is strolling about, issuing orders, checking things over. He's actively involved in the day-to-day running of his business. He's a middle-aged human. Fairly dark-skinned, brown hair. Oops, kind of shoulder-length brown hair.
Yeah.
So he's just coming and going, you can just walk straight in. So
Yeah.
Let's stroll in. I'll fly in slightly. Hello.
Yes. What can I do for you?
We
He
have
has a
a
slightly clipped accent.
slightly odd request. We are after a quick translation of a book, but it is of vital importance to the fate of Haven more generally. And
Very
showing
important.
the book.
Of vital importance to Haven? Well,
Yes.
that sounds mighty important. The translation from
Farron to non-Farron, preferably Feralic, ideally.
What we're speaking now?
well, Theron is quite a difficult language. I'm not sure. I know some. I do know some.
Basically, we need to know enough.
Obviously, there's the
to
rumours
insult
about me,
anyone.
which are clearly pish and nonsense. But there are the rumours about me, and I think the fact that I can, we import things from Thera. Thera still supplies some very fine products, and the fact that I can read the bills of sales and negotiate with Therans in their own tongue. Yes, bit of a millstone round my neck, I'm afraid.
Well, that is precisely what we wish to do, is negotiate. So, when it gets out that we also can negotiate in Farron, perhaps there'll be less focus on you.
Also, if there's this millstone round your neck, and Ashulian is seriously looking for one, perhaps I could help remove it for you. I do not see it. Is it very small?
Literal-minded fellow, is he?
Very. We would happily share the tale of how you helped, if you can indeed help, because we kind of need quite a lot of help right now.
Well, of course, any help to Haven is worthwhile. I'm a citizen here as much as anybody else, and if there is a threat to Haven that I can certainly, in some small way, help to allay, then yes, by all means. Let's see the document or the book. The book, is it?
Yeah, I hand the book to him, or still holding it, but
Oh, let's go into my office.
Ooh.
Go into his office. There's, it's kind of so there is a desk and a chair behind it, but there's also a seating area, a quite comfortable seating area. Clearly an area for negotiations to be had in a more comfortable setting. He calls for some refreshments to be brought in. May I?
Sure.
He takes the book and he starts flicking through it. And this guy does not speak a little bit of Theron. I mean, he's skim reading this book and picking up details from it pretty quickly. He's clearly very fluent in the language. So this is on etiquette. This is about comporting oneself in high society in Thera, dealing with the sorcerers, etc.
The bullet points, please.
Meet someone who considers themselves the queen, and we can't offend, or it could have drastic consequences. We need to know enough not to do anything stupid.
Knowledge is no guarantee of you guys not doing anything stupid.
Orndorf is in hope.
Players in a role-playing game, not doing stupid. Yeah.
He absolutely he reads through it and he gives you the salient points on how to address a queen and how to, the right distance to stop from the throne, the right way to bow, all that kind of, don't turn your back and keep your hands out to your side away from your weapons. It's kind of the obvious stuff, but then he gives you teaches you a few key Theron phrases to intersperse with. Essentially so that you know enough to certainly demonstrate to Twiceborn that you know some Theron etiquette.
And while we are here, we were also wondering about jewelry, and what was the name of those specific stones?
Death gems.
Death charms. So they're a type of blood
death
charm.
We need to woo a powerful undead creature.
Mhm.
Can you help?
So you're talking about Twiceborn because you mentioned somebody who considers himself a queen and a powerful undead creature. From what little I know, I did read a document once at Vardeghul's, written by some dwarf scholar. I think certainly this entire book would be something that Twiceborn would be very interested in.
Perfect.
We've got a gift, everyone.
Except you have signed that silly piece of paper. Hang on. Show me the book.
The book is the book, not the other thing.
The book we got from the law keeper people.
Oh, it is. Oh, yes. That is right.
Perfect, thank you.
We're all going to be okay.
Apparently.
I wonder if you would also like the other book, though.
What other book?
Well, the one that I got confused about.
We can't give that away.
No, but if you show it to me, please. You're not allowed to show it to me, are you, Thorndor? But you can show me the outside of it.
No, okay.
No. I snatch it off you and hold it above my head and say, now what are you going to do?
Not a lot.
Precisely.
You like a tree. So.
All I have to do is hold this book all the way up above my head until we get to her, and then we have another gift. You are not in breach of that contract, with the emphasis on the word con.
I'll flush her up.
Account of an encounter that she was at.
Yes, she might have forgotten.
I'll flush her up and just sit on Julian's hand as it's raised high in the air and just kind of like la 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 la, you know, fill my pipe.
I had forgotten that you could do that. Uh-oh. Never mind.
I suppose whatever his name is, I know this doesn't look impressive. We are actually a band who may be able to stay haven.
We're actually really good.
I play
Agramen
drums.
is just sipping tea and watching all of this.
You're not seeing us at our best.
I think he is.
Probably is.
If Death Cheat Charms, I could certainly sell you.
Well, we'll try and see if this book works, and then if it doesn't, we will come back.
Yeah.
For
Or I could
numerous
sell you some
charms.
jewellery. Death Cheat Charms would go for 450 tabs each.
The
yeah,
book's
we'll
fine.
definitely try the book first, and then we'll come back.
To the smalls.
Cool. So, information in hand, a gift for Twiceborn in hand. You have decided it's time to head off into the smalls for a wee exploration. The smalls by daylight is... You've been here by daylight before, actually, when you went to the hideout of the previous gang. It's very much the same as it was before. Dirty urchins hanging about in the streets. Ramshackle, tiny houses, very low state of repair. Not much is, you know, it's the poor area. This is where people who are too poor to even live in Haven, in the poor areas of Haven, have been forced out into to live their squalid little lives in dank and depression. It's a very depressing area. You move through in the direction that you saw both from the map wall and the kind of slight alteration to that Egil had given you. And you get past the more inhabited area of the smalls and into an area where you can feel yourselves being watched. There's the weight of eyes from behind boarded up windows. As you make your way through, you haven't been challenged, but you're definitely being tracked as you move through the territory. There is a shadowy feeling of people watching you and keeping an eye on your movement.
I don't mean
Following the
to
direction. Sorry, go on.
No.
So my video, my internet connection is slightly patchy, so sometimes I talk over people, for which I apologise, because I don't know, they're talking until... And you know, sometimes I just talk over people anyway, because I'm me.
Well, yes.
I wasn't going to say that. We all need that to an extent. Except for Phil.
How dare people talk while I'm interrupting? Following the directions that you've been given, find yourself wending your way through some closer, tighter buildings, through various back alleys and courtyards. You come out into you can almost call it a courtyard between several buildings. There's boxes and barrels strewn about, piled up in corners. One building appears to have been a business of some sort previously. Some other houses. It's a very small. To call it a courtyard is a bit grandiose. It's a slightly larger opening in the alleyways than elsewhere around you. And as you move into this area, there's a little alleyway just going off to one side, but it's almost a dead end. And stepping out of the buildings ahead of you come a couple of figures. Two from the building right in front of you, one from the building just off to your right. And as you notice this and look around, two figures have stepped out from the building immediately behind you, and a sixth figure is lurking around a corner just the way you've come. One of the figures in front of you says, "You're in Grey Wolf territory here. You've got to pay the toll if you wish to go any further."
What's the toll? I will ask.
Looks you up and down. Looks all of you up and down. Well, adventurers like yourselves obviously come in for the spoils. Off down into the catacombs, are you? Yeah, I reckon for you lot, 20 tabs ahead.
Julian, hide the fucking head you're carrying.
Oh, too late.
Julian, we should check before that none of them are starving. If they're wolves, otherwise you may die. And we will not be able to bring you back.
Are any of you actually wolves?
Or starving.
Or starving?
The guy to the right says, I'm pretty hungry, yeah.
Hold on.
The
Have I got
person who
some...
was speaking before.
Take out some food and throw some in at the one who said he was hungry. Please eat.
Picks it up and starts eating it, whatever it was you threw at him.
Just
Some trail rations or something, yeah.
I mean, do they look as though they are impoverished?
No. They look, I mean, their clothing, they're all wearing hide or leather armor. They're all armed. Their equipment doesn't look of particularly high quality or particularly well looked after, but it looks absolutely serviceable. None of them, they're all fairly muscular. Don't look like they've missed any meals. And the one who spoke before says, Grey Wolves is what we call ourselves. It's the name of our little family.
I see. And do you think it is a sensible thing to charge adventurers before they go in to places where there might be treasures and not try to encourage them to go in and come out with more that you then could tax them a bigger amount on?
Well, you see, we charge the ones who go in, and then if any of them come out again, we charge them double what we charged them when they went in.
Ah.
Right.
So, since we are planning to come out again, you would be planning to charge us 40 tabs on the way out ahead.
You can do maths, yep, that's right.
Oh, well. What was the price ahead?
I mean, you
60
could just pay the 60 ahead now and we won't charge you on the way out.
I have a counter proposal. May I make a counter proposal? I look to the others.
I'll nod.
You know where that's going, just so you know.
I'm getting out my skin mask. I know where this is going.
Yes, my bow is ready.
60. I will charge you 60 a toe, not to remove your heads. And I pull my axe and start moving towards them very threateningly.
Okie doke.
Let's do
Here's my
this.
Let me put you on a map.
I don't have 60 tabs. It's going to either happen before or after. And I would rather...
Let's just do it.
Yeah, I'd rather fight them while I'm fresh. Thank you very much.
I'm just putting you on in a kind of little grouping.
Just making sure I've actually...
So some of you look like you've got some injuries.
Oh,
Did you
did I
update your
not?
tokens earlier, or
Did I not heal my injuries? I need to heal all my injuries.
yeah? So let me just delete you all, and if everybody can make sure they've done the New Day button. Yeah.
Okay,
So remove any damage that you've taken. Put yourselves back up to full karma.
There
full
we go.
recovery tests, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Cool. Everyone done that?
Yes.
Almost. Just press New Day and that's it, isn't it?
Yeah. Should be.
Everything else looks reset under characteristics, so.
Yeah, that looks good. Okay. I think everyone's all in the clear.
Wonderful.
So this map,
it's
I
those
believe, is
various
courtesy
folks
of Seafoot Games.
Okay.
Was just as obtained. I haven't done anything to it. It's a nice little map.
It is.
And I shall put us all into combat.
So we're nice and up close and personal.
Yeah, there's little room to manoeuvre. And if everybody can roll their initiative.
Are we not doing declaration first? Anymore?
Oh, yes.
I mean, I rolled my initiative, but I didn't look.
Yes, apologies, yeah. Declaration first. Julian.
Oh, I am stomping towards the mouthy one and attempting to part his head from his body, unless he pays me 60 tavs a toe.
Okay, that's this one here.
Awesome. Ah, he's a dwarf, is he? Or are they all various thugs? So they could
They're
be...
all various thugs.
Okay, fair enough.
But yes, he is a dwarf, because that's what his token says.
Various dwarf... yeah. At least they're not varicose thugs. That'd be really
Varicose
unpleasant.
thugs, yeah.
Very unpleasant.
So let's go. Sol, what are you doing?
Earthdawn, same guy that Julian's slowly started to look towards.
Okay. Thorndorp?
I'm going to
Tea by the looks
step
of it.
to the one behind and try and guard our back while they finish that one, and I'll attack that thug there.
Okie doke. And Mindilel and Per.
Both myself and Per will be attacking this one.
This one here, yeah. Cool.
Yes.
Anybody using any combat maneuvers, aggressive attack or defensive stance?
I'll be using claw shape.
Claw shape.
I might use thingy. I don't know what it's called. Very descriptive.
Air armour.
No, not air armor.
Oh, right.
Defensive.
Defensive. No, I get you.
What's it called?
Oh,
Is it
that's
defensive?
defense, isn't it?
Yeah, acrobatic defense if I need it. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Acrobatic defense I've got. What is it listed under talent skills?
There's talents, yeah. That's only against people that are in close combat.
In close combat, yeah.
But you can use a simple action, or you could use it if somebody moves into close combat. Yeah. And the thugs are being thuggish. The three on this side are converging on a Julian. This one is going to be moving forwards, and the other two are going to take up a position with ranged weapons down the alleyway. So go ahead and roll initiative, those who have not yet.
You got it last.
It's alright. I might not anyone
you got three.
Yeah, I know. But I've not got everybody on me, apparently, so at the moment.
Okay, so various thug the first darts forwards. Target Julian. Comes in with his dagger. And absolutely fails.
Oh.
Mindy Lau.
Fantastic. So I'm going to move here. And then I'm going to do
Don't
this.
forget to target your thug.
I already have, because I'm very good these days.
So
A claw
claw shape isn't your attack. You need to click on your claws in your
God, yes.
in
yes,
your
I
inventory.
do.
Claw shape replaces your damage step.
It does. See, I'm not that good, everyone.
But you
I'm
do
just
get to use a
stunning
point. You
face
get to use
of-
a point of karma on your damage step because of
I
claw shape.
do. Oh, look at that.
Very nice.
That's
Wow.
much better.
You haven't rolled to attack with your claws yet.
What?
You've rolled damage. You haven't rolled to attack.
How do I do this? I do that. This is my third point of karma without actually doing anything yet.
Right, okay, so you can have the first 2 points of karma back.
Yes.
That attack roll misses.
After all
So
that,
that damage is not applied.
I mean, quite frankly, what a massive
It's
pickle.
interesting, isn't it? Because your unarmed combat roll is actually a better step.
Well, my claw shape was up to step 2. So my claw shape was up.
Step 7. No, but you roll step 7 and you got a 9, and then when you rolled step 8, you only got 5. Anyway.
Yeah. I've gone up to rank 2, rank 2 on claw shape. Has that actually made a difference here? Yes, it has.
Yeah.
Oh, that's given me sadness. Do you know what might give me happiness, though?
What?
Well, it isn't what you're thinking. It would be Per going to attack just here.
Yep, so this thug is now harried.
And I'm going to
Bear with me a second while I tick harried. There you go.
twat him right in the face. And now, let's see how we really do a claw attack. Not like that, apparently.
Also misses. Not like that.
Well,
That was step 12 as well.
I mean, I've got nothing. Good luck, everyone.
Bear with me a second. Sorry, bear with me just a second. Sorry, while I just do this.
I know this is
Yeah,
a really
yeah, fine, yeah.
sorry. This is a really
Sorry.
weird time to. Is that the end of Mindy Lau's goal? Sorry.
It is, yeah.
Sorry, really weird time to interject, but not a good time to ask this either, probably. Are we not leveling up? Oh, it takes a couple of weeks, doesn't it, to level up? Go on to your
Yeah.
next. Okay, I just remembered. Sorry, thanks.
Yeah. You've started your training. Essentially, you've negotiated your training.
There you go.
But it takes time to increase the circle. Yes, 40 hours over a 3-week period. So this thug down the alleyway is attacking Thorndor with his sling. Also failing to hit. And this one is moving to attack Thorndor with a dagger. Actually, we get our first hit of the combat.
I'm trying to
Would
avoid
you like
that.
acrobatic avoid blow? Yeah.
Difficulty 8, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
Very nice.
Nicely done.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I had soundtracks geared up for this. There we go. That's better. Yeah, nicely done. We don't have our first hit of the combat. However, this thug is going to come here.
First 2 successful
As
rolls of
stated.
combat.
Yeah, as stated, is going to attack Shulian.
Mm-hmm.
With a success, with a 9. I'd like to roll that avoid blow.
Yep.
Nice.
It's going to be one of those combats.
Going to be one of those combats, absolutely. And now we are on to Soul Brimstone.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear
Yeah.
you? Yeah, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was going to attack this guy, the various thug on the far right, with
Yep.
earth darts, but this guy's in the way. Can I change what I was going to do based on what he's ended up doing, or have to go and cast an earth dart on him?
You can select a different target if you want to cast it on this guy instead.
Can you do selecting again? Is it T or Z or something?
T.
That's
Yeah.
it. T, yeah. Okay. Oh, if he's in melee range, I was going to just use my weapon. How do you do weapon? How is it?
So, on your combat sheet, you should have whatever weapon you
you've got
have.
equipped. So just click on the weapon.
Yeah, just click on the word quarterstaff.
Because I've only just bought my first weapon
Yeah.
ever. No step modifier or karma.
Doesn't appear
Okay.
that you targeted him.
Oh, he's coming up with like little red arrows on the floor in the corner.
Oh. Okay, let me just check his physical defense is 7. He doesn't have any kind of avoid blow talent, so that is 7, 14, 21, 2 extra successes. So do apply sorry. No, you've rolled damage. You haven't rolled to attack. That's why. Click on the word quarterstaff. It should roll the attack rather than damage.
Okay. That's what I did. Oh no. I did do that, but I don't know. Hang on. Okay, so that didn't work.
Yeah, no, you didn't hit. No.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
Let me just check that's all set up right. Yeah, dexterity, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So because you don't have... Yeah, you don't have any melee weapon skill, so that's why it's just a straight and unmodified dexterity roll.
Okay.
Because you haven't actually ever learned to use melee weapons.
Okay.
Various thugs. This one over here.
An observation, if I may. The reason
Yes.
why I am the last at Initiative 1 is because I was the last to roll the dice. However, I was the only one at Initiative 1 who actually did it according to the rules. No other reason could I be in the last place, because A comes before V but also T. So
Yeah.
just wondering why it's that order, and is that the reason?
Don't know if I can move you about in the order I could.
No, just out of interest. Because things don't
what's
happen
your-
all at the same
What's
time,
your
do they?
dexterity step?
Is that what it is? That's the way it's calculated, is it?
No,
Right,
because
it's
the various thugs would have the same dex step.
yeah, my dex
So they
step
would
is
be-
6, so I probably would be slower than everyone else.
No, you're quicker than them.
Weird.
Thorndor's is 7.
So he should be first.
Yeah, I think it's just the order in which they were rolled.
Yeah.
Don't know if there's actually any way to adjust the order. Okay, because I'm a nice, generous, kind games master,
You
I'm
are.
going to let Thorndor go first and then Ashulian, and we'll use Dex Step to break any ties in initiative.
Thank you.
New house rule.
Okay.
So, Thorndor, you're up next. I'll move him back to
Yeah.
where he was.
Am I allowed to move as well as do the attack I declared or not?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna come in here. But I can't.
As long as you just move and you're staying there, you won't suffer
Yeah.
a penalty. But if you're splitting your movement, you'll suffer a penalty.
No, I'm staying here so they can't readily surround me as easily.
Cool.
Okay. And then I'll hit him. Hopefully. Not like that.
Nope. It's going well. Julian, show him how it's done.
And now you've said that.
I hope so.
I'm just going to attack this one who is at, that disadvantage.
Yeah, the one immediately to your right is harried. And not Tommed or Dicked.
No.
Not yet. Give me time.
He is about to be fucked.
Whoa!
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Good save.
He has no possible way. And you have
At
knocked
the
him
last moment, I
unconscious.
changed. I've slightly got the edge wrong. So instead of taking his head clean off, I just kind of clank him on the side of the head with the flat of the axe blade, and it just poleaxes him round as I spin round like, whoa, who's next?
He is seeing cartoon Zoax fluttering around his head.
Yes.
Cool.
I'm allowed to move now, aren't I?
Oh, no, not that one.
It was this dude. Yeah, that's it.
Unconscious.
I'm allowed to move now, aren't I?
Yeah, you can move, yep.
And I'm allowed to move 5 of these hexes, I think. If it's the same measurement, is that right?
Yeah, hex is 2 yards. Obviously, I haven't spent time drawing every wall in, but the buildings have walls.
Sure, no worries.
It affects movement and line of sight.
There you go. So I've moved there.
Okay.
Hello, Thorndor. We killed
Hello.
this
Right,
one.
and
next.
now this various thug steps in. And as Thorndor is now behind a corner, but as Julian has brought himself into view. I still have you targeted. Ooh, a 15.
Roll that damage.
Yeah, because you've already used your avoid blow, haven't you?
That I have. Wow.
For 13 damage. But only 5 after your armour is applied, because now you actually are wearing armour.
Which one was that who did that to me?
This one here,
Right.
with its sling.
I'm particularly vindicated.
Oh, I rolled dagger.
You did.
Apologies.
What's the difference in damage, like, step?
The sling is 1 damage step less. So let me re-roll that damage.
I'm not sure I want you to.
I mean,
An extra success.
just add on an extra dice. Go on.
Before it comes
No,
up
it's
with-
less damage for the sling.
Not necessarily because of the way this game works. Oh wow! Okay.
So
do-
give
okay.
yourself back 1
Cool. Okay.
point of damage. But yeah, I wouldn't have given you more had it rolled more than 13.
For some reason, it inflicted 6 points of damage on me when it should. Oh, I see. It's because you've just done. No.
Oh, because I've targeted. No, I didn't click apply damage.
Why is it giving me? It only did 5 points of damage earlier, and I'm now not able to change it. Oh, I see why. I'm clicking on the wrong
You
thing.
used
like an
avoid
idiot.
blow, so you took a point of strain. You used avoid blow.
Ah,
So you should now be down 5 points.
right. That's why.
Yeah, avoid blow costs a point of strain.
Didn't know it did it automatically.
Yeah.
That's good. Because I'd have forgotten to do that.
And the last thug is going to go. Who's he going to attack? I mean, they're cowardly, so he's going to try and gang up on Sol.
Okay.
I mean,
Dagger
what a slag.
absolutely, completely fails.
Ooh.
Oh, I hadn't actually clicked begin combat. Anyway.
Everything up until now is just a warm up. No.
So we shall go to the next round, and we will have declarations of intent, please. Mindilel.
Same again, but this time hitting.
Okay. Per doing the same.
Yep.
On
Bill on the
unconscious.
unconscious one.
The one you're next
Oh
to
yeah,
is
which one are you
unconscious.
attacking?
Oh, so let me just indicate. You see this one just here?
Unconscious.
That one's unconscious.
I'm going to move to this one just here.
Cool. And Per's going to do the same, yeah?
Absolutely, Per's going to do the same.
Thorndor.
So I saw Shulian get hit, and you can move through friendly people, yeah?
You can, yes.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 puts me in a base contact with that slinger, so I'm going to move to that slinger and hit him, because he can't use a sling in close
The
combat.
one in the back, yeah?
Yeah.
You can.
He can.
Yeah, there's no penalties for being in melee combat using ranged weapons.
Huh, okay. Alright, well
Which,
that
yeah.
makes...
I mean, it's
that
less
makes-
dangerous than a dagger. I'm not worried.
Yeah, in that case, I'll just keep hitting the one in front of me then. But I will move
Okay.
round to this side of him, so that I'm covering Thorndor, covering Shillian's flank.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Sol.
So I'm gonna start casting air armor, weaving it. And then I'm also gonna cast not an armored defense, is it? Acrobatic defense. As
You're going
a,
to use acrobatic defense, yeah.
yeah, so I'm gonna do those two things.
Yeah. Not a problem. And a Shulian.
I am going to shave off the head of the nearest of these thugs.
And the thugs are going to rinse and repeat. The two are going to continue attacking Sol. The one's going to continue attacking Thorndor. And the other two with slings are going to attack a Shulian.
Cool.
The unconscious one is going to continue to be unconscious.
Can we roll?
Oh, did you
No,
roll
it does it
everyone?
automatically, yeah.
Ah,
yeah, roll
wonderful.
that's what you do next turn.
Nice.
So Per is up first, or Per and Mindy Lel, acting in unison,
We do, don't we?
simultaneously and at the same time.
I'm going to Mindy Lel first, then, to come here. Unless you wanted Per to go first.
I don't mind.
We're going to Mindy Lel it because we can. And we're going to do this. Oh, Lord.
Odd.
Nope,
Some days.
no hit.
Oh. Well. Well. Okay, I'm going to move Per now.
Okay,
Yes.
wait before you roll because he is now harried.
He is.
There we go. I have checked harried.
Fab. Per is going to...
Nice.
Very nice.
May I roll damage? Mr.
You may roll damage. He has no way of avoiding your blow.
Ah! Go on, Per. Claw his face off. And
Click
then
and
his
apply damage.
nipples. Oh.
Knockdown test at difficulty 7, which he fails.
Ha ha ha.
So he is now harried and knocked down.
Very nice.
And let me. There is a thing for prone, isn't there? Yeah. There we go.
Well,
He is
that-
now prone.
Has cheered me up. Thank
It's
you.
amazing.
Cool. The other one, however, who is not prone, is attacking a soul.
Hmm.
When would I?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you were doing acrobatic defense, weren't you?
Yeah, I was trying to ask you when I would do that.
Yeah. Apologies. So you can do it. Yeah, do it.
How does the strain business work again?
It will automatically make you take 1 point of damage.
Okay.
I believe that's above their physical defense.
Yeah.
Let me
Okay.
just see what it says for. Oh, it's a skill, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a skill.
Oh.
It says we win by default.
You add 2 to your physical defense for each success scored for the remainder of the round. So you scored 2 successes. So you add +4 to your physical defense,
How does it?
which is so that attack would have missed, basically, because your physical defense is now 12 for the remainder of the round.
And then do I have to start weaving my spell?
On your turn.
Okay. Oh, this is the enemy's turn, isn't it? Okay, yeah.
This is the enemy's turn. Yeah, Ashulian.
So, hang on, what's going on here? Right, still whirling my axe around my head. I then bring it down, trying to split this one from top of head to the other end. Now let's see how that goes. It'll look a little something like this.
I almost went into Run DMC mode then. Yep, that's a hit. Oh.
Wow.
Knockdown test at difficulty 8, which he fails. So he is now also prone.
So I am then going to move here. Very sensible,
Okay.
Thorndor.
Nicely done.
Hmm.
And I guess I'm not going to move. I'm just going to stay where I am.
Sol, your turn. So you
Okay.
want to weave the thread for air armor, yeah?
Yeah, basically. I'm just gonna leave it with 1 extra thread, just because I can.
Okay. Nice. So did that change the difficulty when you did you have to click something to do it with an extra thread?
Yeah, I had to put in at the top that I've got an extra thread.
Right. Okay. So it's it's added the difficulty. Yeah, it has added the difficulty in. Because I think it's +2 difficulty for each thread.
Yeah, my thread
Yeah, so
weaving
you-
skill is at rank 3 though, so quite high.
Yeah. So you've actually woven 3 threads to it if you got an extra success.
Awesome. So, but I'm not casting this round, am I?
No.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Thanks for letting me know that.
This one with the sling. It's going to move to here. What's that? 2, 4, 6, 8. And he's just going to come in, dropping his sling, getting his dagger out to attack Thorndor. That's a hit. Do you have a void blow?
Yep. Difficulty 7,
Yeah. Nice.
Nice.
This one is going to move to here. But he is still using his sling and aiming at Ashulian.
Of course he is.
It is the way of things now.
A sling bullet whistles past you, and it's not really a bullet, it's a stone. They can't afford sling bullets. Thorndor.
I will be taking his toes for each sling bullet, so...
I'm going to hit the one that is prone. That's the one I declared at. Starving targeted.
I believe them.
Yep.
Yeah, don't need much to hit him when he's prone.
Roll damage.
Ooh.
Fly damage.
Yep.
Excellent.
He is unconscious.
It's
Lovely.
Nicely done. Last 3 thugs. I was knocked down, but not unconscious. So he is going to attempt to jump up. Does the button work? Yes. He makes it. But he is still harried. But he is still attacking Sol. Nope. Sorry?
No, don't worry.
I was actually worried after I made the decision for him to jump up as to whether that would put him unconscious or not. Jumps up and immediately falls unconscious. From strain. That one is unconscious, so and the other one is unconscious. So back to the next round. Let's go. Thorndor, what are you doing?
I'm gonna switch targets to the one next to me and hit it.
Okay. Ashulian.
I'm going to support Thorndor, so also move to attack this one. Whilst bellowing at this one that for every slingstone he fires, I'm taking one of his toes.
Okay. Sol.
So I'm just gonna cast air armor on Ty. with like 3 threads. So I'll work out what I'll tell you. I'll keep you in suspense and tell you what I'm doing.
Cool. And you can also use acrobatic defense.
Yeah, I'll probably be doing that as well. Sorry.
Okay.
Just always
I'll
assume
try
I'm
and
doing
remember to do that
acrobatic
at the
defense.
start of the round.
Yeah,
Um,
just
Mindy Lau.
This one is still conscious, yes?
Yes, and on his feet now.
Yep, so I'm going to go for
Quite
him,
bloody.
and so's Per.
Okay, cool. And these 2 thugs, this one and this one, are going to continue attacking Sol.
Mhm.
This guy with the sling is looking towards this alley here and starting to move his feet in that direction.
Whilst he still
And
has.
this one here is starting to turn in this direction. So they are preparing to flee. Okay, and this one actually gets to go first. So he is going to... What's their movement? 12. So he is going to book it out of there. 8, 10, 12, 2... And disappears
I would like to
off
remember
around
his
the
face.
corner.
He owes me 3 toes.
Okay.
I'm serious.
Mindy Lau, you're next.
Fantastic. Oh, right, so I am targeting him. And for the love of all things Windling, let's try this. Yes!
And you can use a karma on damage because of your claw shape if you
I
wish.
so am doing that. Look at that.
Nice.
very, very nice.
Can I
Apply
apply
damage.
damage? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah!
He is dead.
It's amazing.
Yes!
Well,
Literally ripping his face off.
And this one also legs it. I'm just going to toggle his visibility right now. Per.
It gets so much
There
better.
was one remaining conscious standing thug.
So Per's gonna. This one here is standing, yeah?
Yep.
So Per's gonna move to here.
Yep.
And we're gonna go this time for a bite attack.
Not this time, Per, I'm afraid.
No. He looks glorious though. All wings.
Julian.
Oh, well, there's only... So, he's dead. There's only one other still up. So I'm just going to... 1, 2, 3, 4. Move here and then attack this one. You had your chance.
Who is now harried. Let me just click that.
Yep. You have had your chance.
This one is
Ready?
currently uninjured. Yep, go for it.
So it's difficulty 5, right? Because you've clicked harried. I haven't been too
Yeah.
quick. Cool.
No, it's all, yep. Nice.
I've slightly off my stride, so the axe comes crashing down, just clipping him.
Yeah, there's a little bit of difficulty between the wall and Sol and Per trying to actually get an accurate strike with a great big troll axe.
Did not want to accidentally take your hair off, or any other part of you, so...
Okay.
Right, he now is still attacking Thorndor because that's what I stated. Sorry, Sol, that's what I stated he was doing.
Mhm.
Ooh, with an extra success. but hang on, acrobatic defense. We forgot that, didn't we?
Yeah.
Roll your acrobatic defense.
Oopsie. Defense. And spells. Talent skills. Oh. Good.
That is below his physical defense, so you don't manage to pull it off this round. So he does hit you with that.
Mhm.
For 7 damage,
Ooh.
which is only 2 after your armor. A grazing blow with the dagger.
Does damage immediately come off, or do I have to put it on?
It immediately comes off when I click apply damage.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And
then you may immediately retort, my friend.
okay, I'm just casting 3 threads of air armor. I'm going to cast them on. I need to roll that. I'm going to cast them on myself, Julian, and on Per.
Nice.
Yep. You can't reach Per. Needs to be touching distance.
Oh.
No.
Okay, so I'll cast one on the Julian and then one that I'm casting on me, because I think I can use 2 threads to just cause it to.
So 1 thread to cast it, 1 thread for an additional target, a Julian, and you've got 1 left, which can either be increase the duration or an extra +1 physical armor.
I'll do an extra +1 there, Pim, please.
Okay. Cool. I think that's actually added to your physical. No, it hasn't added to your physical armor yet. It just says effect +3 physical armor. So we'll bear that in mind. So you both actually got +4 physical armor
Okay, cool.
for the next rounds, I think. What was it last for? Rank +5 rounds. So that's your spellcasting rank. So for the next 8 rounds, both have +4 physical armor. Nicely done. He's dead. In fact, let me just remove that one. And remove the unconscious ones. So Thorndor.
Yes, the one I was going to hit's run away, so I will finish the one in front of me and then move over to the other unconscious one.
Cool. Roll to murder the helpless poor bandit who's just trying to make an honest living in the smalls.
Bandit and honest.
As if that
Not an oxymoron at all.
Yeah.
Tugs up my heartstrings.
If they would have just given up some toes, it would have all been all right.
60 tavs per toe.
Go ahead and roll that damage. Oh, wow.
Nice.
And problem. 17, bloody hell.
Splat.
And then I'll move over to this one.
I mean, their death rating is only 25, right? So cool.
What a
and
player.
there is a 1 thug left conscious and upstanding and not run away. He is desperately looking for an exit. There is a doorway behind him, but Per is currently between him and the doorway. So there's a little doorway right here, which is desperately looking towards, but there's a very angry Zoak. And we will have Mindy Lell's declaration first.
I'll go and cut him with my claws. Probably not. Yeah, I'll claw shape him. I probably won't use Karma at this point.
Cool. And Sol.
So I'm going to cast the dots, basically.
Yeah. Let's go Julian next.
I'm going to roar "Surrender or die" in his face and use that raging sort of bellow to invoke fire blood.
Cool. And
May
Thorndor.
also do acrobatic defense as well, if needed, sorry.
Yep, I'll hit the one who's prone in front of me. Unconscious.
Well, no, this one here that's unconscious, yeah.
This one here.
Okay.
Oh, is
Yep.
he dead? Yeah, this one here.
So this one in the middle's dead, yeah.
It's
Oh,
that one.
so
it's
this
that,
one's
this one.
unconscious.
Yeah, that one's unconscious, yeah.
Yep.
And yeah, the thug is looking to try and run away. Seems completely uninterested in trying to fight any of you at the moment.
Which would be sensible.
I mean, surrender is always an option, right?
Which he may well do. Mindiel, you are up first.
Fab. So I will hit him with a claw shape.
Which one are you attacking?
Oh, the one that's still awake. Oh, I forgot to target him. Hold on. There we go.
And you'll also need to move closer to him.
Oh, well, I can't. There's like a dead body in the way. You know how I
You
feel
can
about
step
dead
over
bodies.
the body. Well, you can fly over the body.
Yeah, there we go.
Where have you gone?
I'm on the body. There
Oh,
we-
are you? Right, okay, cool. Well, I could just see the body, so...
Yeah.
In fact, let me just... There we go, let me delete that.
Oh, that's better. There we go. Now shall I roll damage?
Yep, that is a hit, yep.
Ooh.
Go ahead and apply damage.
Yay! I hurt him. Go, Windling Power.
And so now it's either Per or Sol, whichever you guys can choose between you.
Go on,
Let's
Sol.
go. Let Purge-
So-
okay.
Go on,
Go.
Sol. You know you want to. Get the killing blow in.
Okay, I'll just cast. Oh, I need to target somebody. Which one's live
Target.
again?
This one.
That's...
Nice.
That's a good roll.
something. Oh no.
Roger.
How did
Yeah,
that
it doesn't
work?
get through his armor, I'm afraid.
The fuck? I mean, oh no. Children might be
Yeah,
watching.
I
You
doubt
scoop
it.
up- You scoop up some dust and gravel from the ground with your magic and form it into a dart, fling it in his face, but it just hits his chest instead and bursts apart without doing any damage. Where are we? Per is next.
Fantastic. So Per is going to go in with his claw attack. Oops, I've just brought up. There we go. Yay, look at that.
Nice.
Yay, look at that.
Ooh.
Yeah!
It's dead. You can easily dispatch the last remaining unconscious thug if that is what you wish to do.
Do we want to ask them if
I
he
get
knows the
my fire blood
way?
roll first.
You do get your fire blood roll first. We're still in combat, so let's go. Yeah, let's go. Ashulian, do your fire blood, and then Thorndor, you can make your decision.
So I just do this. I'm not going to waste a point of karma on it. I can't anyway. I've used all my karma. Nice.
Oh, nice. That's a nice roll. Max roll on the 2d8. Well, it's not really, but because one's.
It doesn't actually have applied. Anyway, never mind.
Oh, maybe you need to target yourself first.
That would make some sense. Anyway, that heals me completely up, so it is all good.
Nice.
That's his. I come over to assist Thorndor in his efforts to kill an unconscious.
Oh, I look
Thorndor,
at
it is your
Mindilo
decision.
because he said something, so I'm like, are we wanting him spared, did you say?
I wonder if we could ask him if he knows the entrance to the catacombs.
Alright. And I pull off.
Do you?
Yeah. Gotta get my jollies somehow.
And with Thorndor about to pull off, we shall leave it there for the session. And deal with the...
We might edit that bit out, but if we haven't done, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry if you're watching this.
I shall end combat.
I'll go and skin the other one instead. So
I
I'll
would like his
keep
head.
him busy.
I've decided to collect heads.
I'll give you his head.
Right, he's dead. Okay. Yeah, we shall bring the session to a close there at the end of this combat. You having dispatched the members of the cowardly Grey Wolves, apart from the two that have fled, and looking for the entrance to the catacombs. Yeah, one left unconscious.
Not for
And
long.
we will pick up next session with
Fab.
perhaps an encounter with the Queen of the Undead. Thank you very much again to my marvellous players for some fantastic role-playing, some great immersion into the world that we're building here. To you who are watching, as usual, thank you. We've been playing Earthdawn 4th edition, available from FASAGames.com in digital and physical formats. The Foundry VTT port of that, which is mostly what you've seen. And then again, yeah, as I said, this map is courtesy of Seafoot Games, who are well worth a look at if you're interested in battle maps for all various different things, really. They've got a whole range. Yeah, thank you very, very much. And now a word from our sponsor.
Actually, we have to say thank you, Damien, for bearing with our somewhat madcap attempts to derail your campaign at every possible.
Can't derail it if it ain't got rails.
That's true. This is true. This is true. It's more like caterpillar tracks. Just got slide in this particular. Right. Anyway,
Ball, it can go anywhere.
it's about that time indeed where it's a word from the sponsor. In this case, we're being sponsored by. Oh, who is it? Oh shit, we haven't got to that stage where we're being sponsored. All of this is just free. So you're getting this wonderful entertainment for free, and really, is it so much to pay the price of just a little bit of energy, just a few joules of energy, just a click, a like, and a subscribe button? Come on.
A slice of cucumbers worth of energy.
Is it as much as that? It's certainly more than a stick of celery's worth of energy, because that's like negative mass or something, isn't it? Anyway, please, we're doing more things. Channels get to be seen if people see them and share them and click and do all that stuff, and comments like, what would you like us to play? What would you like to see different that we haven't done so far? And hey, it's like on the back of lorries with the call this number, how's my driving? Here's a comment, how's my role playing? I don't mind, I'll take criticism. I welcome it, so have some fun. Tell us what you think. See you next time.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.